And if we ask the stars what they mean, what would they say back to us? Welcome! You want to go on a card journey today? Give me some of your time, and I'll give you some of your story. Well, let's see what the cards say. Hey there, Leo. Welcome to Koi Plays Tarot. My name is Koi, and I'm going to be your tarot card reader for today. As a set of quick announcements, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification button. That way, when uploads are made, you can see what the stars are trying to say to you. Also, if interested, individual reads are back up and open. Either message or email me directly. Links on main, and we'll set it up, okay? So, Leo, what are we looking at in this round of reads? Well, I know it's been a while since the upload was made. Truth be told, a lot of things are going on in life. As you can see, things are changing in my visual appearance. Not that I needed the glasses, but it helps for the reads because a lot of light, a lot of eye contact, need to make sure I got it right. And with that being changed, let's talk about as things change. So this is going to be your ATC read, your as things change read for the month of September. As things change, I like to think of it as the energy transitions between one month and the next. How are we switching things up, right? Instead of trying to guide it from the ends and beginnings, we just jump right into the conflict, right? That is why I have the fives across the board, representing each element: water, earth, fire, and air, cups, pentacles, wands, and swords, respectively, asking directly what's going on, what are we seeing as the hardest thing to talk about, and once we dive right into it, what can we hope to glean out of it? So, as a preamble to the read, Leo, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but don't always be so willing to reverse. At times, if it gets difficult, understand that I, as your tarot card reader, I'm not here to misguide you or mislead you. Trust me, I got 12 signs to work with, and none of the time to lie to any of them. Instead, we lay our cards out on the table, and good or bad, rain or sunshine, we talk about it because at the end of the day, tarot is a conversation, just an energetic one. Yeah. So follow along with me in this ATC, your as things change read, Leo, and yeah, let's see what the cards say. We're going to start over here with your Five of Cups. So let's talk about the emotionality. How deep does the river really run? So those are the cards that we need to see, please, upon the Five of Cups for Leo in this ATC read. What are we trying to dive into? This transition into September. Show us the cards that we need to see, please, for Leo in this read. Interesting. Okay. Five of Cups. Now talking to a Ten of Cups. Two of Swords. Why so? Why so? Why are we feeling confused about that? The Two of Wands. Well, you have a right to feel that way, Leo. What's bothering you, at least what you're noticing, is that I think the biggest question that's coming up right now is that if it works, then why doesn't it work? Right? The first card that was pulled was the Ten of Cups upon that Five of Cups. Both representatives of water. Here, asking, if everything's working out for me, right? If something that I wish happened came true, if something that I felt it should be right, that this should have been, what I wanted all along. And now we're having, I wouldn't just say cold feet with that Two of Swords, but the doubts of everything, right? Is it all too good to be true? It's everything that's cracked up to be. There's something that is, you're asking yourself, what's the purpose of me doing this? Right now, what direction that goes, I'm not entirely sure. But what I can say is that we're having not an existential panic, but a coming to realization moment, even within ourselves, of what we truly want, because something that we wished would happen did happen, right? So, if then, so what? Right? If it does play out in the ways that we once expected, then why do we feel so alienated from it now? Right? And it could lead into feelings of like feeling quote unquote ungrateful for what we have, or the reflection of did I really want this, or was I just longing after it and that's what kept me here? Okay. So next, let's go to the Five of Pentacles. Interesting statement to start off with, but we'll keep going. To that Five of Pentacles, what do we need to understand for Leo in their read? So those cards that we need to see, please, upon the Five of Pentacles for Leo in this read. if a Nine of Pentacles is going to change why we feel that way, but hey, it's worth a shot. So the Nine of Pentacles coming upon the challenge, the Five of Swords. Okay, it doesn't change how you feel; it just changes how you're processing it. And the Nine of Cups. Okay, so taking a pause here. The reason that I'm having like this level of anxiety kind of along with you right now, Leo, is because it's like you're forcing yourself. You think that, okay, I once wanted this one thing. I wanted it so bad. The opportunity is now here. And now I don't want it. I'm going to work myself into wanting it again. Right? Then Nine of Pentacles is trying to challenge that Five of Pentacles. Like, okay, this opportunity is here. Why don't we go for it? Maybe if I built it up, if I had the level of pizzazz and enthusiasm I had, a few months or a few years ago for this, maybe it'll all just work out and I could just put myself into motion and yeah, that'll be the ticket. That Five of Swords right next to that Nine of Pentacles is saying, let's not lie to ourselves. What is our true fulfillment? The Nine of Cups now asking both of these cards, okay, I understand that I feel like I should be more grateful for this. However, the reality of where I'm at right now is not who I once was in regards to the situation. So putting those both together, just because I try to work myself into it does not mean I'm going to like the process anymore. It doesn't even mean that I want it as much as I once did. I have to deal with the reality of where I am right now. And right now, I ain't feeling it. And that's just my honest to goodness truth. Does that make it the easiest or nicest conversation to have, Leo? I don't know entirely what this venture is for you, but it's like we're trying to convince ourselves that we like it because, hey, I'm going through the motions to make myself like this, right? We're putting the cart ahead of the horse here because we're assuming that eventually we'll get back to the attitude we once had about this with all the enthusiasm by just going through those motions again. Whereas the spark for it is what drove those actions in the past. And truth be told, heart to heart, truth to truth, you don't feel the same anymore about it. Right. And I think the more you're trying to make yourself like it, the more you're actually going to resent it. Fair enough. It's not always even, right? It's not always easy. Sometimes it can be a bit difficult when we realize that, yeah, something we once wanted, we don't really want anymore, but it doesn't change where we are. Okay. Next to the Five of Wands, what about the outward expressions of conflict? Show us the cards we need to see, please. On the Five of Wands for Leo in this ATC reading. Five of Wands in this reading for Leo. Nine of Cups. Okay. The Queen of Wands. Why is this coming out underneath the fives? Okay, the Five of Cups now coming out. It's like fives are matching fives across your board. Oh, Leo. Okay, here's why I'm saying this. You established that, I don't know how many people you got hyped up about this issue, or, you definitely had a support team or some people who were rooting for you in this venture. I'm feeling, Leo. And the Nine of Cups and the Queen of Wands, it's like you want to take the stage and say, hey guys, I know this is what I once talked about for so long, and I seem like I'm so close to it. I don't want to let you guys down, but the reality is, I'm just not feeling it anymore. Right? I think you're getting closer and closer to that moment where you tell everybody else, like, surprise, I'm not gonna pursue this. You're getting closer to that moment. And I think part of you established earlier that you're not really letting yourself down. You're actually being more of a lie to go through the motions at this point because you're wasting your time, because you just don't want it anymore. But you feel like not pursuing this opportunity is letting someone else down, right? And I think that's part of what's keeping you here rather than the intentional motivation behind what you said you wanted about it from times past, right? Right now, you're not doing it for you, you're doing it for others. Boom, found it. Like the title. Not doing it for me. Yeah, it's not. I mean, yeah, I wish it was better, but right now, Leo, I just get this sense that you're gonna start growing resentful towards this entire, plan that you once endeavored so hard for, because part of you knows at the heart of the matter, truth of the matter, you're not doing it for you. You're doing it to, fulfill the dreams and expectations of another, and it's not going well. So you're trying to muster up the courage now to engage in that conflict and say, yeah, I know this is going to sound totally, bullheaded me to say this, but I just can't see myself doing this. You're getting closer. So to that Five of Swords, what about that internal conflict, Leo? Show us cards with me and see, please. What are the Five of Swords in this reading? Ooh, did not hit the table, so I can't take, but very close. Okay. Ace of Wands. Okay. When I try to embrace truth, Ace of Swords, things become more factual. And the Emperor, card of Aries, is forcing me to make a choice, right? The internal debates, we've had enough of them, and truth be told, they're not going anywhere, right? The more I try to outthink it, the more I try to outfeel it, the more I sense that I've outgrown it. I'm not doing this for me anymore. So who am I doing it for? Yeah, it's making you muster up. Regardless, I've spent way too much mental energy, way too much personal energy trying to see this from a different angle, and it still came out with the same answer. So given that the Emperor is now coming out, you, you've done enough debate, Leo. You just got to make the decision. Will you or won't you? And why? It's just where it's at underneath it all. Six of Wands. Okay. Showmanship and victory now had. Six of Wands here, I think we had enough time to sit with the uncomfortable questions. Now let's sit with the real ones. If we don't want this anymore, then where are we going? What do we want to do? Because the quicker we could accept that, yeah, this venture it ain't for me anymore, we could then move on to where we want to be and get ever more closer to that. Okay. Next, let's get a singular card underneath all the five sets. Show us cards with me and see, please, underneath every five. For Leo on their As Things Change read. What card do we need to see, please, for Leo on this read? Dang, man. Right. Remember, we start off the beginning underneath the Five of Cups, asking, when things fall into place, what am I trying to get out of it? It puts you into a state of just analytical suspension. Again, the purpose of the hangman is not meant to sit there forever. It has a purpose. It's trying to analyze the situation before it acts, right? Now, the thing that we had to ask ourselves, and it's kind of just repeating the same point from the past, but I waited for this for so long. Now that I'm not feeling it, what gives, right? I thought we were waiting on this. Now what? Okay, next. Nine of Wands. Okay, underneath that Five of Pentacles. I think the more effort we put in and the less we got out, it's just telling us exactly where we truly stand. It doesn't really change much. Underneath the Five of Wands, the Sun. And so when I really come to grips about how I truly feel about this, not what I once portrayed to everybody else, not the fear of disappointment, I'm actually happier with me, right? I just got to accept the fact that whatever this adventure was for me originally, I'm not doing it for me right now. And the more that I try to put myself through it, the more I'm going to absolutely resent and hate the process. So I might as well be truthful about it because I'm more happier when I am. And the last underneath the Five of Swords, King of Wands. Okay. Establishing, doing the best and right things with what we got and where we are. How do we move with that? Right, because I'm coming to these conclusions no matter how I try to look at it, a rock is still a rock. So I might as well make the best of it. Now, once I move the biggest push out of the way, where do I actually want to go? That's where I want to be. Underneath it all, Star, card of Aquarius. Hope and the light of the pathway. If I'm honest and truthful with where I'm at and where I want to go, then that will be my guiding force. Not just trying to have the feelings and enthusiasm of this nostalgic past, but the reality of my present. Right? I'm working with dual feelings right now. The first, I need to leave this alone. The second, I need to find where I want to be. Okay. Last, let's define all the major arcana straight across the table. For dang, that was quick. Well, Emperor. So Six of Pentacles, yeah, makes sense. Six of Pentacles underneath that Emperor. And by the way, that's what I mean when the cards fly out. They literally fly out. I don't really have control over that, but it's meant to meet somewhere in the middle in regards to that, right? So that's Six of Pentacles to that Emperor. If I can make the choice to tell my truth and be totally, upfront about it, I could start to look for bigger and better, right? Believe it or not, making that choice and saying that out loud is going to feel easy in hindsight. It just doesn't feel easy right now. To the Hangman, the High Priestess. Internally, it ain't feeling right. It ain't feeling right. And that's why we're stuck in a state of, kind of analysis paralysis. We're not moving forward because at the heart of the matter, we don't want it. To the, I thought there was one more. Normally these things match. To the sun again. We are happier when we can finally let it go. Now, how do we do that? Okay. And I'll take this in your resolution space. First, Temperance card, Sagittarius. It took a while to get here, but hey, at least we finally found it. And it may not be the truth that we like, but it's the truth that we have. Next, the Eight of Wands, direct communication. Once we say it out loud, the truth will set us free, but first it'll piss us off. It's just where it's at right now, Leo. Underneath it all, Seven of Wands, guarded and defensiveness. I think part of us knows this truth about whatever endeavor we're not immediately embarking on right now. And part of us don't want to say it out loud, but we're happier when we do. We just got to find a way to get there. So as a recap of the read, Leo, yeah, there was definitely something you waited for a while on, talked about it, hoped for it, dreamed for it. And now it's finally here. You're like, I don't really want that anymore. And I know it's going to probably piss a few people off and make some others around you in your inner circle, et cetera, mad about your choice. But I'd rather you live honestly and happily with yourself rather than feeling like you're going through the motions of something that you know for a fact you do not want anymore. Because it's going to show. It's going to show in your output. It's going to show in your enthusiasm. And eventually it's going to show that you wasted your time on it if you're not going to put your whole heart into it. And that's just not the Leo way. So that's all I got in your read today, Leo. I hope this conversation helped. And yeah, sometimes we do get what we ask for, but it also allows us to ask different questions. Food for thought. I'll see you around, okay? Take care.